Hello and welcome to Revueo, the heavily opinionated movie review show.
I'm Ant.
I'm Cal.
And I'm Paddy. Every week we take a look at a new cinema release and we also look back on the classic film available on DVD.
This week we're looking at Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and Silence of the Lambs.
Today we'll be looking at Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief.
It's not what's called.
The Olympians.
Percy Jackson, no.
It's such a stupid name.
It's
Isn't
not
it?
called that, it's called Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
No, it's not. It's Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief.
No, the UK title is Percy Jackson and the
Does it really matter?
Yes.
It does matter.
It's far more important what we thought of the film. What do we think of it?
It's a bag of poo.
It's pretty crap. It's a pretty poor film. We saw it and tried to have an open mind on it, but pretty quickly we came to the conclusion that it's not really our kind of movie. Straight away, what struck me personally was how terrible the lead actor was. He was pretty dire. He was Logan Lerman in Gamer. He plays the pro guy in Gamer, the kid.
I wouldn't rate that film either, to be
Me
fair.
neither, yeah. He was pretty dire.
The film's directed by Chris Columbus, who's the writer of Gremlins and he did Harry Potter 1 and 2.
He wrote Gremlins?
He did, yeah.
How far he's fallen.
He started off so well and he's just gone so badly. I mean, this film is Harry Potter 1 in a nutshell. Yeah. The synopsis of it is a sort of talented young man discovers a power and goes to a crazy school where he meets other people with similar powers, known as demigods.
Mentors and friends, and they go on the quest.
He makes friends. He becomes quite pally with a head teacher. Good,
funny that.
That's very nice. Good old
guy.
Percy. Yeah, bearded old guy who's played by Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, a nice little cameo. And they go on a quest to try and save the world. That is Harry Potter in a nutshell. And Chris Columbus has done the exact same thing and told a really poor story, which I was not personally interested in.
The writing was pretty horrendous. Very obvious, very contrived. The one thing I can say in defence of it is that we're not its target audience. That's the only reason that I don't think it's absolutely diabolical, was the fact that maybe if I was 8 years younger, 10 years younger, I might enjoy it a little bit more. But then, as I said, I'm not its target audience, so I can forgive it a little bit.
The best bit about this film, I would say, is Rosario Dawson.
Definitely.
Best bit. We are personal fans ever since we saw Clerks 2 and Sin City.
Absolutely.
Because she's absolutely gorgeous. Uma Thurman, on the other hand, does not look gorgeous in this film.
Not so much. Yeah, she has a cheeky little role as Medusa.
Yeah.
And
She crops up from time to time, sticks her head in.
Oh, see what he did there. There were a lot of quite, reputable actors in it. Sean Bean, Steve Coogan, Pierce Brosnan, and Uma Thurman, as we've mentioned, Rosario Dawson. And so there were a lot of, potentially good talent in it.
Big A names, aren't they?
It's just a pity it was a crap film.
My objection to it is the fact that it thought it was being really clever by having all this kind of mythology in it.
Yeah, in modern times.
And it was just like, oh, look how good we are. Oh, look, there's Zeus and there's Poseidon. They've all got like sons and daughters that walk around, and it was all kind of semi-accurate mythology, but the fact that they were just throwing it in there, and like a lot of the things they go on are the quests of Hercules, like he has to slay the Hydra and slay the Medusa, but they just weren't good bits.
Yeah,
it's just a bad film.
And another thing that will anger especially non-American viewers is the fact that it makes America seem like the centre of the Greek mythological universe, and so all these kind of amazing Greek structures and things like that, and kind of the centre of all Greek mythology,
Vegas, baby.
Is all set in America. So Mount Olympus is suddenly, not to ruin it, but in New York City, which is funny that, I had a feeling it's somewhere in Greece. But
how wrong you were, Patrick.
Yeah, what a mistake to make it.
Surprisingly, a bit of CG was my favourite bit.
Really?
I liked Hades when he shows up out of the fire, and then he spoke like Steve Coogan. He
completely ruined everything about that creature. What would you rate this?
I would give it 2 out of 5. Pretty poor.
I would give this film a 2 out of 5, but pretty poor. I think if anyone wants to spend money on this film, don't. Wait for it to come out on terrestrial television and then watch it and then see I was so right that it's not a great film.
I'd agree with my 2 co-hosts. I'd give it a 2 as well. And don't get me wrong, the reason I'm giving it a 2 is not because I don't think it's diabolical, because it's a really bad film. The only reason I'm not giving it a 1 is because we're not the target audience. If this film was made for people of our age, then I'd give it a 1 because it's a really genuinely terrible film. But with not the target audience, so I'm likely to forgive it a little bit, so I'd give it a 2.
Anyway, coming up is our skit. It's a little parody skit of Percy Jackson. Hope you enjoy. Peace.
Okay, Percy Jackson, take one. You ready? You ready? Yeah, you're ready.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
1 second, director wants me.
What the hell do you think you're doing? We're shooting Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Yeah, I'm Percy Jackson.
Why the hell are you dressed as Harry Potter?
Nah, I got the wand and the scar. I'm Percy Jackson.
That is Harry Potter.
This is embarrassing.
You're damn right it's embarrassing. It's too late now. I'm going to have to hope that nobody notices.
Yeah, it'll be fine. No one will notice.
Could you at least try and wipe that scar off your face?
Did it in Sharpie.
You're bloody clever, you know that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Quiet on set. Roll camera.
Camera speed. Got another.
Mark it.
Slate 23, take one.
And action.
Spelliarmus!
Someone get Daniel Radcliffe on the phone. Hello and welcome back to Revueo.
Hope you like that little skit of Percy Jackson. Personally, I actually thought it was better than the film.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
5 out of 5.
Yeah,
Why not?
No question about that.
Coming up is our DVD for the week, which we decided to review.
Silence of the Lambs. I was tempted just to not say anything, and then
Yeah.
that would be the Silence of the Lambs, but I'm not a lamb, so. Yeah. The problem is, the first one's called Red Dragon, the antagonist is the Red Dragon. The third one is called Hannibal, the antagonist is called Hannibal. A lamb is not the antagonist of this film.
See?
Yeah.
I think some thought in
I'm
my
going to throw it there, because I like the big metaphor of it.
Okay, the synopsis of the film is a young FBI cadet played by Jodie Foster, who starred in Panic Room, Bugsy Malone, Taxi Driver.
It's all over the place, isn't
Bobby
it?
De Niro.
Anymore? No.
Not like I can think of
Okay.
just now.
Anyway, she has to confide in a current jailed serial killer who is Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, to find another serial killer who's currently on the loose skinning women.
Mm-hmm.
For shits and giggles.
This film is particularly famous because of Anthony Hopkins' portrayal as Hannibal Lecter. It's a
5-time Oscar winning.
Yeah,
I believe.
absolutely. It's a genuinely amazing performance. You know, the film won what's called the Big Five Oscars, which is Best Director, Best Film, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, and Best Actress. And so it won all those fives. And yeah, the film mainly follows Clarice's, Jodie Foster's character. She's going around trying to solve this case, and she needs to go back and, you know, essentially pick the brains of Hannibal Lecter. But he's playing mind games on her. He's a very, very talented psychologist, but also a very twisted individual. So he's able to use his psychology training in order to kind of
get into her mind.
Yeah, get into her mind really, and it's kind of it's like a mental game of chase really, and the very famous scene, the quid pro quo scene, where he's telling her things that she might use to solve the case in return for her telling him things about her childhood, which he later uses against her, and it's
where all the stuff about the lambs comes up, and her being a cop. I like the bit when you first see Hannibal Lecter when Clarice Starling walks in and he's just stood in his cell, perfectly still. I don't think he's got his hand behind his back, just hands by his side, as if he's expecting her. Yeah. And then she comes in, and it's a strange kind of meeting because he's oddly confident and she's oddly shy. Yeah. But then you get to watch that kind of relationship build as it goes on.
Oh, we have not mentioned Jonathan Demme.
No, we have.
The director, Jonathan Demme, who did Philadelphia and other films that nobody else cares about, and Silence of the Lambs. Sadly, he's not done anything good recently, so far as I know. He should probably get back into direct.
What I like about the film is the fact that it's allowed to kind of plod along its own pace. Like, to compare it with Red Dragon and Hannibal, they've got this mentality of action films where every 10 pages something interesting has to happen. Yeah. Well, not interesting, but like an action piece. Let's not talk about Hannibal Rising.
The less we say about Hannibal Rising, the better.
No, I thought it was a piece of shit.
It's a bold-faced lie.
It was a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, like in Hannibal and I was going to say Red Faction then. Red Dragon, it's allowed, like every 10 pages has to be this action piece, like there's a man on fire in a wheelchair, and there's like a man gets pushed off a building, and things like that. Yeah. And none of that happens in Silence of the Lambs, but it's a better film, it's a more intense film because it's about the characters rather than about these big events. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that it's kind of given freedom to go as slow as it wants to go, or go as quick as it needs to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, it's about time for our ratings for Silence of the Lambs. What do we all think?
No question about it. 5 out of 5. Tits McGee. Amazing film. I really love the writing, really love the acting. It's just a great thriller.
Okay, I'm giving it 5. Tits McGee. Phenomenal film. Like Paddy says, perfectly written, perfectly directed, and perfectly acted. It's just really enjoyable watch.
I'm going to have to disagree. and give it a 4 out of 5.
No! That's horrendous.
Yeah. Primarily because of the music. I mean, just...
Or lack of.
There was music in it. It was definitely music. There was like violins and shit.
Just kicking around and feel like it.
But the fact it was kind of just uninspiring. Like a lot of one of the main things I go through a film is if there's a scene, it needs to be pinned with good music, and that's kind of what makes a good scene for me. Because music can kind of communicate with someone on a subconscious level in a way, in the similar way that cinematography can. But I just think they kind of phoned it in. It was just, all right, here's some music, it's to fill the silence rather than actually being invested in the film. And so because of that, I would give it 4.
Okay, after that fairly unanimous high rating, we've given Silence of the Lambs because it's an absolutely fantastic film. We're going to show you our little skit of, and our interpretation of Hannibal Lecter. Enjoy.
Good evening, Clarice.
Doctor,
I was wondering if you could order me some takeaway.
I'd like that, Doctor. Italian?
I once had an Italian with some fava beans.
Perhaps not. How about Chinese? I kept the foil trays from last time.
I didn't.
No, you ate yours. Good evening. What would you like, Doctor?
You tell me things and I'll tell you things. Quid pro quo, Clarice. Yes or no?
Quid pro quo. Go ahead, Doctor.
Lamb chow mein.
And I'll have the number 42, the lemon chicken.
Lamb biryani.
And one portion of the number 4, the egg fried rice.
Lamb chops.
Very funny, Doctor.
I forgot to mention earlier, I'm having an old friend over for dinner.
Hello and welcome back to Revueo. Hope you enjoyed that little skit of Silence of the Lambs. That's all for this week.
If you want to contact us, you can send us an email at revueo@vueo.tv.
Next week we'll be looking at Alice in Wonderland, which will just come out at the cinema, and we're also taking a look back on Die Hard! Dude, you didn't say Die Hard. See you next week.